I've said it before, the LOG4 profile is probably my favorite flat picture style for Canon cameras. So, Gabe Maru or Gabe Maru, terribly sorry if I'm messing up your name. Anyway, he commented in my previous video, I don't hate flat profiles anymore. And he writes, hey Thomas, I tend to always use log1 as log4 just has too much of that yellow-orange cast. Both profiles are a great step up from CineStyle and look great though. And I couldn't agree more. I decided to make this video, and soon enough, but not soon enough, I discovered that I've been using the beta version of log4. So unfortunately, I had to scrap all my sample footage and do a bunch of retakes, but finally, here we are, a video dedicated to the log4 profile. I hope you like it. So let's take a look at some super simple in-camera tweaks that you can do to kind of tame the tone. But before we take a look at the side-by-sides, let's do a control and let's take a look at the picture style Faithful. And we're going to do a comparison side by side with Faithful, shot with a custom white balance and shot with the camera default daylight white balance, just to see the difference there as well. And just for the record, I'm shooting this video and the sample footages using two daylight balanced video lights. And now let's take a look at log4, straight out of camera, default settings, and we'll do one with custom white balance and one with the in-camera default daylight white balance. See if there's any difference. What do you think? If this is moving too fast, remember you can always jump back and pause the video. And now, let's adjust the color tone of the picture style, and we're gonna move it one notch towards magenta. And same as before, custom white balance on the left and daylight white balance on the right side. And while we're at it, let's push it one more notch towards magenta. Same here, custom white balance to your left and the daylight to your right. And here's a quick 1 versus 2 notches towards magenta. Just because we can, right? So, what happens if we change the direction of the color tone and push it one step towards green? Take a look at this. Same here, custom white balance on the left side and daylight on the right side. Let's bring it one more step towards green. And finally, let's take a look at the difference between pushing one step towards magenta and one step towards green. And this time the magenta will be on your left and the green on your right. What do you guys think? And as a quick side note, let's take a look at the in-camera sharpening differences between the Faithful and the log4, just because we can, right? So the Faithful have the in-camera sharpness set to 0 by default. But this is a completely different topic for another video that I'm actually hoping to release quite soon, so stay tuned. What have we learned? Well, let's take a look at this color wheel and look in this area where we have some yellow and orange, some warm tones. Let's say that we're trying to kind of combat those tones. And if we draw a straight line across the circle, we'll end up here in this area. That's kind of what we saw when we pushed the color tone towards magenta or green in camera, right? So I encourage you to play around with these settings. I mean, you're not gonna break your camera if you change anything, and the best thing of all is every picture style have a tiny little indicator arrow that indicates the default or original value for that picture style. So whenever you feel like you've gone too far, you can just move the settings back to that and you're good to go again. So if you have further questions, just drop them as a comment below, and make sure to check out the description because I've posted links to where you can download log1 and 2, log1 and 4, and as well as the correction lot that I made for daylight balanced footage, and probably a couple of other useful links. Well, see you guys in the next one.